Wonder was a boring body of work. Like being like, why am I seeing Shawn Mendes everywhere? But it's nice to be held by you. There was something that was really missing. I liked Always Been You, but everything else. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Agape, like the love, and today's video is going to be I wouldn't describe a video as being a hectic video, but today's video is going to be a hectic video. It's going to be a very honest review. Not to say that I haven't done honest reviews in the past. It's brutally honest, and it involves criticism, and hopefully the criticism is going to be constructive. Today I'm going to be reviewing and more talking about Shawn Mendes' brand new album called Wonder. This is funny because I actually recorded a reaction video to the album, but I was feeling quite ill that time, and what happened? I was feeling ill. The video came out really late, like it came out in like the evening of when the album had come out, and so I wasn't really happy with the timing of everything, and I wasn't happy with the video. And so I figured, you know what, I'm gonna scrap this. I'm gonna try and insert clips when I'm talking about certain things about the album. I'm gonna try and insert clips from when I was reacting to it, because I still have the footage. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about the album and talking about why it wasn't what I think to be one of Shawn's strongest album, why I don't think it was a really great album. Because I've seen it so weird. I've seen so many reviews, like YouTube videos, people talking about the album and them enjoying it, whereas with me, I didn't enjoy the album as much as I enjoyed the previous bodies. And so yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys about it, and if you feel like you want to carry on listening, then I think you should carry on listening, carry on watching. This isn't a podcast. Continue. So guys, if you see, guys, can we just take a moment to appreciate how nice my hair looks? If you want to see more hair content, I don't do hair videos on YouTube anymore. I do them on my Instagram. It's weird, I usually in between these two things, but you can't even see it. I'm covering both of them. But my hair content is on my Instagram, so if you want to follow me there, it's the same like my same name, whatever. Also, I do want to say I'm gonna be looking down a bit a lot, but it's just because I have my notes. Like I have 8-point notes. That's all about this video. I have all of these notes written down of bullet points and things that I want to talk about. So if you see me jotting down, looking down, it's so that I can look at this. I didn't want to have a impromptu, I didn't want this video to be rehearsed, no, but I didn't want it to be unorganized to the point where I was just waffling. I wanted to make sure, because this video is going to be critiquing an artist that I love, I want to make sure that I'm doing it justice and that I'm not just on the spot, and that's why I have all of these notes. It's going to be about this video, so let's get into it. So my first point as to why Wonder was not a good album, in my opinion, obviously I'm going to say my opinion because this is my video, this is my opinion, and you clicked there because, but the first reason why I don't think the album did well for me is the fact that the first song that we heard was the best song, and that frustrates me for a number of reasons. One of the main reasons is I get that the title track is supposed to be incredible, right? The title track is like amazing, and I get that's the first introduction that Shawn wants to give us into this new sound. But why I was upset with it is because it left me thinking that this project was going to be amazing. I saw that with Wonder, Shawn played a little bit more with the instrumentation. It was a little bit more mature. It was giving me John Mayer-y vibes. It was giving me more like artistic, still pop, but he was able to play around with the instrumentation, with the production a little bit, add some piano in. That's the Shawn that I really like. To give you context, one of my favorite Shawn Mendes songs is Ruin, and so if you get Ruin, and I just went back to the song. if you can understand that, then you will understand why Wonder, I really liked Wonder. Like I really enjoyed Wonder, but the problem was that was the best song on the album, like, and that was the first song that we heard. So I had so many expectations for what this project was going to bring. I was like, whoa, it's gonna sound amazing. But that was the best song. So we heard the best bit at the beginning, and the album fell flat after that. To give you guys context, I'm a fan of Shawn Mendes, and when I tell you guys why I'm upset about Wonder, let me just show you my top. This isn't on Spotify. I don't know if you guys can see. This is on Spotify. This is your top 20 tracks of 2020, right? I'm gonna find a screenshot. I'll post a screenshot. But you guys don't want to know what my top 2 songs are. It's Ivy by Frank Ocean. It's Ivy by Frank Ocean, and the second song is freaking Wonder by Shawn Mendes. The song didn't come out a really long time ago, but it made it to my second most listened to song of the year. I want you guys to think that, like, recognize that and realize that when I'm talking about this isn't an artist that I hate or I don't like. In fact, I love Shawn Mendes, and so making this video and making this honest video, like, you have to understand that Wonder was my favorite song. It was the best song, but I have a problem when that is one of the only songs of quality on the album. Think of Shawn's previous albums, right? So we think of Self-Titled. One of like the big songs on Self-Titled was like In My Blood, right? That was one of the big songs, but I felt like Falling in New, Particular Taste, there were other songs that were equally as like, wow, this is an amazing song. So the album doesn't feel like empty. Let's go even back a little bit, right? We think of Illuminate, right? We have that time, we had Mercy, we had all of those ones. Ruin was my favorite, but Illuminate still as an album carried a lot because it was filled with a lot of songs, right, that were pleasant. And guys, let's go back Handwritten. If we think of Handwritten, right, so many incredible songs. Never Be Alone, right? Those were songs. Kid in Love, those were songs that weren't even singles, but they were still as impactful to me. They were still a pleasant experience to listen to, just like Life of the Party. Okay, so my second point is about Monster. This is so weird, right? Because when I first heard the song, I did enjoy Monster. Like, I can't lie and say I didn't like it now, because if you look back, I had a reaction video of Monster. I was 15 when the world put me on a pedestal. I had big dreams. I'll put it back up for you guys so you guys can see it, and I'll put a little Dropbox thing so you guys can see the video. So when I heard it, I really enjoyed it, right? But if I'm being honest, it was underwhelming as a song, right? Maybe because of the subject matter, but I was so excited for this collab because it was like these 2 major pop stars that we love, but the actual song was very underwhelming. To me, it was like Ariana and Doja Cat's Motive. Like, you expected it to be this massive tune because these 2 artists are like massive, right? You expected it to be a massive tune, but it just wasn't. But then also I saw a lot of people, I read a lot of articles and stuff, and people were saying that, like, I get how the song was important, but in the context of what's going on in the world, it didn't really struck a chord, because it was like, how do I explain it? I don't want it to make it sound like second world problems, because those feelings are still justified. When I was 15, when the world put me on a pedestal, those feelings were still justified. But if we look at the year as a whole, and then we compare it to those little ideas, they don't match up. Do you see what I mean? And so that was also something that when I heard about, I was like, I see it. I see why people would be like, oh, concept. Because then maybe people would have just wanted a full-on poppy song. I don't know. That point I'm a bit conflicted about, right? But it's still. My third point is very short. It was boring. Wonder was a boring body of work. Like, I get that you're in love, but I need you to give me more. Like, I was bored. I sat through that album and I listened to it, and I'm gonna post clips. I told you guys, but I was bored. I like Shawn Mendes, but I was bored. Like, I was bored. I got the trying out with a different instrumentation, right? But lackluster. Like, I was bored. I thought it was a boring album. Number 4, we're gonna talk about marketing, right? I think with this album, I think Shawn let himself short in a sense, because Shawn Mendes is, you could say Shawn Mendes is a pop star, right? But not a pop star in the sense where he releases Wonder. Wonder is incredible. As I said, Wonder, second most played song of the year, right? Wonder is an incredible song, right? But he dropped Wonder, then Shawn dipped. Like, Shawn disappeared for a hot minute. Like, this is your new single. For a hot minute, Shawn disappeared. Shawn isn't in the leagues of like Adele's and Beyonce's and Taylor, where she can literally say nothing and the word is going to be carried out around, right? So I feel like the gap between Wonder being released and us getting new music was it was a long gap, fam. If I could have even appreciated little lives or being proactive, because when I think about, and also if we think about this year, obviously you can't do too much, right? But if we think about artists like Chloe and Halle, where they didn't have they aren't as big as Shawn Mendes, obviously, right? But with the little bit that they had, they made sure that they did promo. They made sure that they were able to get the news out. Marketing, it wasn't a good job for me. I hate to say it, but Shawn's relationship with someone played a role in the audience and the general public's perception of him. It's funny because my previous thing was about marketing and how Wonder got paid dust. Just this marketing strategy for this new album, right, was paid dust. Whereas with Señorita, every 2 working days there was somebody on Twitter antagonizing us about this, about Señorita. Do you see what I mean? It's so like the contrast between us getting absolute promo, being bombarded, and then when you have your album, we hear nothing. Like, it's weird to me. It's very weird to me. And just the general public's opinion of Shawn it went from not really having an opinion of Shawn to being like, why am I seeing Shawn Mendes everywhere? Why am I turning to the right, seeing Shawn and Camilla? Why am I turning to the left, seeing Shawn and Camilla? So I'm not a fan. Not of the relationship, guys, actually, but this is not my place. But I'm talking about the music. So okay, guys, back to the actual music. I do want to say I liked Always Been You, and I like Call My Friends.
It's always been you, it's always been you.
I keep coming back to song, like that song. This is that song for me. But everything else, they didn't really stick with me. Like, I didn't think that they had replay value. Like, there's somebody on Twitter and the @ is called Black Boy Bulletin, the name's Kyle, and they did a article. You should follow them on Twitter because they have really good reviews of albums and stuff. It's funny because they usually post them weeks later, like a few weeks later, because they're obviously having to write them, and I already reacted to the album, so I'm like, I can see this, but by then it's already too late. But it's good because I can form my own opinions. But they did an article talking about how the other songs were just had heavily too ambitious. With the production, they were way too ambitious with tying into different artists and different inspirations. It was just a bit too much, and they did a beautiful article talking about the album. It's a bit harsh, but it's really, like, that point is really worded quite well, and so I'm going to link that article down in the description so you guys can read it. And yeah, there's some, I can't articulate it in the way that they were able to do it, so you should definitely watch that. And so the thing with the rock and more funkier and more mature inspirations, I could hear it, but something was missing. Not to say it didn't get there, but something was missing. For me, it's weird because it worked for Ruin. Do I ever cross your mind? Do I ever cross your mind? Do I ever cross your mind? Yeah. I'm not trying to ruin your happy state. Anyway, it worked for Ruin, right? But with this one, it didn't quite work. And the thing is, I feel like this album could have been really nice. Like, I feel like it's still gonna be good as a live album. Like, I'm still gonna try and pay them tickets, right, as a live album. But just studio versions, there was something that was missing, y'all. There was something that was really missing. Like, I know Shawn has the voice for it, but something was, for lack of a better phrase, something was holding him back. Guys, point number 7, let's talk numbers. Men lie, people lie. Do numbers lie? Sometimes numbers lie, but in this case they favor me, so I'm gonna talk about it. So let's talk about it. Shawn's album for the first week, where did it end up on Billboard, the top 200 albums? It ended up in #1. Obviously we can see that that's fans pushing it, that's people listening to it. First week reviews, Second week, where did it end up? number 25. And that's to say, like, what does that mean? Because if this is an album that has longevity, which I'm saying in this video it doesn't, if this is an album that had longevity and fans are like, no, you're being too harsh, you're being too critical, what's gonna happen when it's at its 3rd week and its 4th week? Like, what's gonna happen? This feels like an era that we're just gonna turn a blind eye to. And in this video I actually want to discuss why that's the case. Like, why did this era flop? Because to me, I feel like it flopped. And you might say, oh, the numbers, it's gonna get better, blah blah blah. But personally, as somebody who enjoys his music, I felt like this era flopped. It flopped for me. It flopped. Okay, my last point about this era, it's not about the album, but just this era in general. Why did we need that movie? No guys, genuinely, why did we need the movie? I'm very curious. I'm very curious as to why we needed that movie. When I first heard it came out, I'm going to try and find my tweet and insert it over here. When I first heard it came out, I was like, why do we need it? Because there hasn't been something in Shawn's life. I get the movie would have made sense had we gotten it earlier on. It could have been like Justin's like Never Say Never thing, where where it's like showing him like the upbringing side, and then him being a pop star like this overnight, right? Where it felt like overnight, so then they can talk about the whole Vine thing going crazy, and then Shawn Mendes selling out. So maybe for Shawn Mendes, or maybe for Illuminate would have made sense. We have all of the life of the party craze, then we have something and it's like, oh my word, this newfound pop star sold out Madison Square Garden. That makes sense. But then it's too similar to Justin's, I understand, right? But now there isn't something that's like, I read this article and it said the movie with not much to say. Because what happened? What genuinely, like, what was the plot? What was the storyline? I'm so sick of artists having documentaries to just have documentaries. Like, tell me something, like. So yeah, that's my final point. And last but not least, this isn't a point number 9, this is just a random thing. Higher was too damn repetitive. I'm just gonna say that Higher was too damn repetitive. There's no need to repeat something 3 or 4 times for the message to come across, and that isn't even the chorus. That's just me being salty and being upset because Higher was what? Too damn repetitive. Okay guys, so that is it with my video. If you felt like I was being harsh or whatever, please leave me a comment down below. I always reply to comments. This is done for me. This was my constructive criticism. I feel like all artists should hire me. So yeah guys, that's what I generally feel like. Everyone should hire me. Like, you just should hire me. And Shawn, if you're watching, if by God's grace, or like if by any chance you're watching this video, please know that I love you, but I'm just giving you I'm just telling you I love you, but we're gonna have to try next year, or we're gonna try the year after that. I'm so gutted though. I'm so gutted because Shawn Mendes self-titled it was so good. It was so good, and I was so looking forward to it. And
I wonder if I'm being real. Do I speak my truth or do I feel how I feel? I wonder what it's like to be loved by you. Yeah, I wonder what it's like to be loved by you.
I'm so gutted because that song is incredible. Like, that song, I was so excited when I first heard. When I first heard that, I was like, are you kidding me? This is gonna be incredible. And it was, but the album in general was not. And so yeah guys, thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to comment and like this video and subscribe to this channel, because I promise I'm nicer. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram guys.